whole before the title will be released. So if you missed 18 payments of $1,800 each, you'll have to come up with $32,000 in cash to pay the forbearance to be able to sell your home. Because you owe that. Well, here's the other thing. Because you're in arrears, it doesn't say on anybody's credit application, oh, it's forbearance. It says you are delinquent with 18 months of loans. Do you know what that's going to do to the average credit score? Banks are already going to be hesitant to lend anybody loans in the future because of this crunch that is coming. You have to have great credit. If you've been participating in forbearance, you are going to have delinquencies on your credit score, which will cost your credit card. It will go up in interest. And if you can get a loan, you're going to be paying a higher interest rate because you've been delinquent. Even if you sell your house and pay it off right now, it will still be marked delinquent. So it's a good thing I'm renting, right? Oh, yeah, not so much. Here's the mistake that millions of renters made, millions of times over. You're not forced to pay rent, and landlords aren't allowed to charge late fees. Rent continues to accrue during the months you missed. Okay, no big deal. I'm going to live the high life. Well, now that the federal court has ruled the CDC has no power to issue any kind of eviction moratoriums, renters are due for a rude awakening. If you started missing rental payments in, say, June of last year, as the moratorium is lifted, millions of renters may find out that they have to start making payments again. But they also have to make up for the money they missed. When the dust settles for COVID-19, renters who end up evicted will find their long-term credit negatively impacted. They won't be able to fill out a financial form for the next apartment they're trying to rent because they owe all of this money and they didn't pay their last bills on time all during COVID. Now it's going to take a very understanding apartment complex or a very understanding bank, and they have such a heart, to say, oh, it was COVID, not a big deal. As America begins to reopen, as vaccines are administered, as America's shuttered businesses get permission to have patrons again, let's take stock and remember that once the virus is gone, the impact, the pandemic, the economic, the social, spiritual impact that this has you to A/B compare them, go to recteq.com. That's RECTEQ.com. Find the difference. Find the one that you only have to buy once. RecTech.